Somewhat. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. All right. Today we are going to be chainsaw carving a cool outdoor wintry scene. There's going to be a cardinal chainsaw carved up here on the top, and then a rainbow trout down here. We might even put two cardinals up here. I haven't made up my mind yet, but what I do know is it's going to take some time. I don't know if I can finish it, and the reason I say that is it's just so daggone cold. I mean, it is. It's really cold. But that said, we're going to chainsaw carve this thing. It's going to be a nice wintry scene. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to get. Actually, I wish I'd have put the bibs on. I might have been. But the wind turned to the east, and the east, well, it's been blowing out of the east all day, but it hasn't really been blowing. Well, now, as the snow is getting closer and closer, it's starting to blow in here. So I'm getting colder. It's getting colder. We're going to get this winter storm that they say is coming. It's coming. But anyway, let's just get some work done. Hey, what's going on, guys? Glad to see all y'all in there. Who we got? We got Land Raver, Baby Kisses, Dad, glad to see you guys. Billy, Shoemate, what do you know? All right, guys. Anyway, I figured people was probably getting tired of watching weather, and there ain't a whole lot of live streams going on other than weather. Uh-oh. Man, it might not want to run. We'll find out. You're not act very happy about it, I can tell you that. Might as well start this one too. Bottle up there. You'd think Dr. Pepper was sponsoring me or something. Boy, I wish. That'd be great. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to make my cardinal facing that way. Hey. Dummy ain't got no ear protection on. I thought, man, this saw's awful loud. It must be the cold. No. Retard, you ain't got no ear protection on. Duh. Oh. Okay, actually, here. Let me start out with this one. This is pliers. This one's pliers. It's a lock pliers. But that's it. Help me out. Hit the like button. Appreciate you guys watching. We're going to make something. And hey, when the snow starts falling, I'll probably turn it around and face it out. He's got to be either standing on a limb, on a dead tree piece, or he's standing on top of a stump. And I kind of, this time, leaning more towards standing on top of a stump. I've made the one where he's standing on top of a limb. So I think I'll cut him out, like right here on the top. Let's see. I'm just going to make one. Let's see. little bit. Man, I don't know. I mean, it's like one of those things. You got so many choices of how you could make this, and then it's hard to make up your mind. That's it. Help me out. Hit the like button. Appreciate y'all being here. All right. I think I will leave a little bit. Does it look like a duck drinking a beer? I hope not, because that's not what it's supposed to look like, right? Okay. Cuts are like trying to wrap it around in their mind. Yeah, it's a little harder to get back there whenever you leave that piece. But it is what it is. We're going to leave it there and we're just going to do what we do. Tell you, that was a strange cut. I'll tell you what too, the more I'm looking at it with this piece added here, I don't like it. I mean, it's not bad, but I just kind of envision him standing on top of a stump, and it is what it is. And I had this piece going up here. I made one like that in the past, but I don't like it, so I'm going to get rid of it. That's the easiest way to handle that. like the Aunt Bea Cardinals, a big old fat one, you know what I mean? Starting to look like something now. Don't know what, but it's starting to look like something, isn't So this is what I'm thinking. So this piece here is like the stump piece, and then this tail and all that's going to be all this piece right here. We're going to take some of this out, and its tail and all that stuff's going to be right there, kind of hanging off of it. And then this piece will kind of go down like that, and this will be a bottom with some roots hanging off of it. So we'll see. So I'm gonna cut on through and just try to take some of this piece out so that tail will be hanging. We'll see how it goes. A little bit at a time. Appreciate y'all being here though. If you haven't hit the like button already, be sure and hit it, and we will keep right on going. In that 12-inch to come on out the other side. So I might as well cut the side off over here. It'll make it make it a little better. out, got the tail come out. You know, I got to cut some lumps away and all that stuff. But you get the point. You get what's going on. Uh-oh, somebody's letting us know they're here. Heck yeah, I appreciate that. One of our smucksters. All right, guys, appreciate y'all being here. All right, we'll keep right on going. We're going to dig that tail out. And this blackest block right here, we just need to kind of pitch out. So let's figure it out. Let's get rid of it. I still want to keep some of my width because I kind of plan on maybe putting a trout in here somewhere. I don't know. We're going to see what happens. Man, this is the best New Zealand duck carving I've ever made. No. I don't know why I have to be so dumb. The concept I got here is this Cardinal is going to be on a limb, or he's on a kind of a stump piece that's got some roots, and somewhere, maybe right here in the face or something like that, I'm going to carve. It's going to be a total 3D piece. I'm going to carve a trout down in there too, like he's standing right on the stump, that the roots are in the water, and there's a trout swimming down there. That's the goal anyway. So we'll just keep going, work on our Cardinal, one thing at a time there. Don't get in a hurry. Making a mess, ain't I? And the snow hadn't started yet, but when it does start, I'm going to turn this camera around so you guys can see it. I've been watching, I'll be honest with you, I really wanted to go deer hunting today, but my blind's set up for a northeast wind, so I got to carve. How about that? Okay. Not a bad thing. I love doing this. Starting to come out. I can see the tail. I like when the tails stick off like that. That's a pretty cool piece. I really like making them like that. But that said, be sure to hit the like button. Appreciate you guys being here. Remember that thumbs up over there. That's there for a reason. what? Usually, like by now, I'd be really hot in my hoodie and stuff. And for whatever reason, today, it's not happening. I got this mask on, and it's warm. I'm warm, but I'm not hot. I usually get hot pretty quick. But it's cold. It's like, you know, duh. I think he's looking pretty good. The beak wise, I could probably get it a little more pointy than that, but I just try to be careful when they're that small, so that hopefully I don't chip them off with a chainsaw. I mean, if you were doing it with the flat disc or something like that, you wouldn't have to worry about it. But about all the pointer it's gonna get with the chainsaw, which ain't bad actually. It looks pretty good side angle, but I like to have a little bit more like kind of a hole right here. I think I'll create that real quick. It just makes it stand out a little bit more. I mean, I think that made that look pretty good. I mean, you know, not to toot my own horn. I don't know what I'm doing, but anyhow, it is what it is, right? It kind of looks like a duck, right? No. Why does this guy keep calling Cardinal a duck? Because he's stupid. That's why. Some wing detail, a little bit of feathers here. This is kind of like a covering feather. And so they really should just be like little straight lines. Boop, 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 boop. But we'll just make them like the rest of the wing down. I don't know. It just stands out more. That's why I like to do it that way. Best blue heron yet. All right. I got the wings done, feathers done there, and I just give it. It looks like bear hair. You just go along through there, kind of just gives it some kind of body motion of some sort, and that's all I'm going to give it. And then we'll give him some straight lines up here. But then the Cardinal's almost done, and I got to figure out how or where I'm going to put a fish in there. But I plan to. I don't know. I guess maybe his tail could start here and it could go down there. I don't know. But it's just supposed to be a three-dimensional piece, or 3D piece. so he's pretty much haired up. Burn his eyes in and a little bit of mouth work in the Cardinal, really, he'd be done. So I'm gonna thin this piece down though. Remember, he's supposed to be on a stump. And I'll have to like round that out a little bit. And then figure out where we're gonna put this fish. We might put 2 fish on here, I don't know. But let's just see what we got. First thing I wanna do is kind of take and round this stump out a little bit. And you know, cut down the size of the piece that's up here and round it out, and then we'll start some roots. We'll figure out where our fish is gonna be. But it's gonna have like 2 or 3 roots coming off the stump, like they're going into the water. You know, if you've been on a creek, you can see the roots running through where the dirt's been washed out. So that's kind of what we're going for. Like some rings at the top, like the where it's been cut with a saw, and it just kind of sit there to rot. They get these rings right there, the rings, and anyway, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you ain't gonna see it anyway. I don't know. Hit me. If anything, it'll just be a place for dust and moisture to collect to make the carving rot out faster, if that makes any sense. We did it anyway, because that's just the kind of guy I am. All right, let's see. So I got a natural line here that was in this tree. Why it grew that way, who knows? But as a natural root I can take advantage of right here. And so for the time being, I just want to cut that out and shape it, because also going to fit my trout in here somewhere. I'm thinking right there. But I might as well dig this out and bring it to life. And the same thing kind of right here where this piece sticks out. It's kind of got the same feature a little bit, not like this. I mean, that's perfect. That's perfect for making a fake root. It already looks like a fake root. Well, let's see. A little bit at a time. Let's get it done. Turn this sideways. Get a little bit more visible. Create a rock under there. That's why we want to make this root. There'll be a rock, and the trout will be on a rock.
On that side. Here, I'll whirl that around a little bit. You can see what I mean. And I got to dig some of this out too. I just want it to stand out, you know, have a nice, yeah, just nice rooty look, whatever that is, right? Whatever rooty look is. Figure out like this piece here, this limb piece that was cut off. Should I try to make that part of the root ball? You know, like a piece went out there, and I kind of think so. And then I might put I think I'll put a fish right here, put a trout right there. So like this piece is just barely underwater, you know, or something like that. So kind of dig this out just a little bit, and it's not bad, just like it is. But I'd like to make it look more kind of sharp, like it's sitting on top of a rock, and then that fish is on a rock. Okay, that's good too. Okay, we're already up to our fish spot. I guess I could make one more root in the back first, maybe, because you know, the fish is a little more technical. You got to draw it on there and carve it out. Maybe I ought to finish my root before I go any further. But appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys getting ready for this cold weather coming in. That's what we did today. Helped out some other people get prepared, and got prepared ourselves. And figured I might as well come out here and start carving on some stuff, because I like to do this. Now we're going to be at the Mill Dam at Buckeye Lake for the Winterfest next Saturday. And it's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be like 4 degrees in the morning. That's cold, you know. I mean, any way you look at it, that's cold. And I got some other projects here going too. Some small stuff, little stuff, big stuff, you know, whatever that I can be working on. So I got stuff to do. I ain't got to worry about running out of, there's never nothing to do if you're, you know, side business of the chainsaw carver, that's for sure. Hey, and I got to give a shout out to Mike at Crosscut Woodworks in Circleville, Ohio. He's the one that gave me that log. He gave me 6 or 7 logs. And that piece there has a natural root looking piece in there. I think that's pretty cool that has that in there. But yeah, Mike makes his own. He makes like tabletops, custom tables. He'll cut pieces out for you to make your own tables or countertops if you want live edge wood. And he had a lot of beautiful pieces there too that was already ready to go. Man, this Garda oiled. So I just buy, I go to Rural King and I get either Garda, I like Garda when it's hot, or I get the Cam 2, which seems like it runs through faster.
so I don't get it in the summer, but it's not as thick in the wintertime. They're all thick, but it's not as thick. So I get the Cam 2 in the winter, get the Garda in the summer. I had some Garda left over, and I just tried to put that in that saw. It won't even budge, it's so thick. That's all right, I guess, you know. Okay. There's that baby. Let me get him back kind of warmed up a little bit. And then I do want to make a kind of a root out of that piece there. I'll do that before I go any further. Something like that, right? tree. Actually, the tree is sitting on top of the rock, and so the fish, he's gonna get right here. So I gotta dig that out, but I don't want to get too carried away. So I don't want to mess up my space I need for my fish. But he's kind of tucked in up in there at the same time, so it don't necessarily matter. How long we been on here? Not even an hour. Okay, wow. All right, well, let's keep digging this piece out around through here just a little bit. And we'll smooth all this out. It just needs to be a little, not a lot, a little, a lot. We got that, got a piece of the root. We're gonna have a fish. He's gonna kind of be turned in here a little bit. And I think I probably should get a Sharpie and draw that out a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, it is cold, cold, cold. Let me take a drink of this real quick. Hope you guys are doing pretty good today. I'm having a good time. I don't know. I felt like I'd give you something to watch other than the weather, guys, you know. There are a lot of weather guys on there today. And they all got the same story. Getting ready to get attacked by the white death. Okay. I'm going to Sharpie, but I don't know. It might be too cold to use it. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's find out. Okay, so trout. Yeah, trout. It's kind of fat little fish, you know. Starting over here. Give him a little curve. A little bit of tail. I don't know. I think he's going to be... And actually, the last time I did this, it was the same thing. It was like it wrapped around the piece. But it looked cool. It was really looked cool. So, you know, whatever. The only thing I'll notice in there is if I do that, I'm going to be kind of shortening the tail. I don't know. Here, we'll do this. Flare it out a lot more. There we go. Might have to kind of end it right there a little bit. Might even just cut it out, have it hanging out a little bit. I don't know. I think that in order to get that right, I'm going to have to adjust it. Have it. There we go. Let's look a little better. And then go down over here. And I know what a trout looks like. That's the other thing. Just draw him a little sad face because they never look happy. You know, little trout. He always looks mad. You know. He's got a little fin here. Looks like a shark. And another little fin. And then, yeah, that. And that. It's gonna be small, so no Picasso. You know what I mean? Okay. We gotta dig him out first, so as long as we got a decent shape to work with, that'll help. Last time I did one of these, I didn't even live stream it because I'm like, I don't know if people are gonna get it or not because he wrapped around like that, you know. But that said, it is what it is. I'm live streaming and I'm gonna carve a wraparound trout there. And then I guess at the end I can show him a little better. I could also bring him this way some. I don't know. I think that'll be okay though. Let's find out. Worst thing that happened, I get mad and cut him off, and we'll just call it a Cardinal on a stump, right? Now the tricky part, trying to cut that out. Let's see, get that aim down a little bit. I wonder if I ought to put another piece on it. That might be easier for me to do and easier for you guys to see. I can do that. This piece ain't that heavy anyway. Might change, might make it highly unlevel, but I'm okay with that if you are. There, let's do that. That looks close. Yeah, there we go. Gets it a little bit higher up there. It did get fish out. Let's see what we got here real quick over here. Let's see. Hey, Trapocolo, what's going on? Baby kisses. Glad to see you guys. Heck yeah. That's not bad. And it's dug out anywhere from half an inch to an inch. It's kind of, I'd say more like 3/4 inch to an inch, just depending on where it's at. He's kind of dug out there. And it'd be a little harder on the bottom. I guess if I took and I pulled him out a little bit like that, that might help substantially. As long as you don't tip over, right? Anyway, appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate y'all watching. Hey, it's just now hitting an hour. Wow. Okay, well, it is what it is. I'm in no hurry today. I got nowhere to be. If I ought to go back in deeper, and the reason I say that because a lot of this outer wood, probably like the first half inch, or not even half inch, 1/4 inch for the most part, it's got some rot in it, and it's spotty. You don't know where you're going to hit it and where you ain't going to hit it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of thinking about it. So there's only so much I can do with the chainsaw on the fish anyway. But I think I'm going to bring out what I can and go from there. We'll burn him before we sand him because the bird needs burn anyway. that trout's probably about as good as I can do with the chainsaw. I mean, now I need some little trout dots and some sanding and some different stuff like that. And I think I probably ought to burn him, you know, give him a good, nice, crisp burning. The whole thing needs that. And actually, it's got ice on it, one side there. Let's see if we can get this thing going. If not, I'll have to walk in and get a lighter. But we'll start with the Cardinal and burn that up and go from there. But I think it looks pretty good. I mean, not bad, not good. It's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool piece. Oh, you're awful opinionated. Yeah, that's right. Yes, I am. That's what I think about the moon landing, if you really want to get in a discussion. All right. Yeah. Okay, you can hear the gas. That hoses like all this. Untwist it without setting myself on fire. Hey, when I can't like this later, remind me that I was doing this. Using my striker to think out that wet salt. You know it's frozen. It takes some privilege to get long to eat it off there. No, So a little bit at a time. I'm gonna peck away at this a little bit at a time. I'm gonna start with the bird, and it just needs his beak cleaned up, sand the beak, and then give him eyeballs. That's it. And we're just gonna give him single punches with man-paw eye cutters. But I think it looked pretty cool. I'd say, I was wondering if I could just unplug that thing. It'd probably give me a better angle. I'm gonna need my electric anyway. There we go. Okay, yeah, there we go. Probably zoom in a little bit even. I don't know. Every time I try to do something like that, I make it more complicated than it needs to be. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Putting this up here, and I'm gonna sand the beak. I'll start with him. Do one thing at a time. And yeah, I'll keep switching back tools and stuff, but I don't care. Well, I'll tell you what, it's cold. If it looks cold, it's because it is cold. It's not even snowing yet. That's what I don't get. I mean, it hadn't got here. No, I'm not complaining, but it hadn't got here yet, which is good because I'm going to kind of clean up my mess. I'm actually going to back my side-by-side in here for the night and kind of cover it up. That way in the morning, because we're supposed to get 1 to 3 through the night, an additional 4 to 8. Anyway, we're supposed to get an additional 4 to 8 tomorrow. So it's going to be pretty rough eventually. But it's taking its time getting here. I don't think it was supposed to hit here until like sometime between 2 and 4. And it's 3:30 now, so there's quite a ways to go to get to that time. And I'm in no hurry. Also, I got the holes drilled for my morel carvings, the walking sticks, but I haven't carved the walking stick or the morels down to fit in the walking sticks yet. I'll think about doing that next. Baby Kisser says, are you going to show us that process, the finishing and all that? And I usually don't because, being honest about it, people don't really want to watch this. They like watching chainsaw carving, and then when the chainsaw carving's done, most people don't watch it. But let's just say I'm trying to improve my attitude about that. And say the heck with it. You want to see the whole process of something getting made. I mean, and you want to see the whole process of something getting made. I mean, that's chainsaw carving is a small part of it. Well, it's not a small part of it. It's the main part of it, but it's just a part of it. And some carvings take quite a bit of Dremel and sanding work and stuff like that. I mean, quite a bit. Like this bear I got standing back here. I mean, he's wearing bib overalls, so he's gonna have to. The whole thing's gonna have to be sanded quite substantially. And most people won't sit around and watch that. And I get it. It's not fun. The noise is not loud. It's not entertaining like chainsaw carving. So usually I haven't in the past been sharing any of that. I chainsaw carve it, stop it, finish it on off of a live stream. But I'm trying to change my attitude about that and actually share more of the work. Okay, that's my ball. Heck yeah. And I know somebody saying, oh, you shouldn't be wearing gloves when you're using them die grinders. And they might be right, but I always do, so I don't know. Okay, a little more around. He's still not as deep as the other one. There we go. That looks pretty good. So the Cardinal, really, by the time you give him the eyes, it's kind of hard to see. It's almost like he's blurry. Maybe it's because I got close to it. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, baby kisses. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, like watching the whole thing. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to change my attitude about. Hey, Land Raver, woodchucker, what's going on? Glad to see you guys. I'm trying to change my attitude about that, baby kisses, because I would just carve and and then or chainsaw carve, and then you know, nobody wants to watch that. But you guys, some of you do want to watch it, so it just makes sense. On top of that, it spends a little more time. Another thing I've learned about the YouTube algorithm is if you spend longer periods of time on, it will recommend you more often and more heavily. So I try to change some of my practices to compensate or to coincide with that. Where is my? What did I just do? I just had it. Oh, it's right here, dummy. It's right here. I was looking for this. Can you believe that? I was looking for that. It was right there. Well, I'll tell you what. The other thing to go with that too is, like in this kind of weather, chainsaw carving, I get warm and doing sanding and doing finishing and detail work. If it's really cold like it is right now, it's probably 10, 12, something like that. If it's pretty cold like that, you're not as prone to, hey, that's not an east wind. That means we might be getting ready to see some snowflakes fall here. If we do, I'll turn things around. I'm looking at the neighbor's flag. So the neighbor's across the valley. No, it's still east. It's just the way it's blown on this hillside. So I look across the valley, and it's about a mile, and I can see the neighbor's flag. And I look to see what it's doing over there because he's more open than I am. I'm back here up against a north-facing hill, and I get some weird winds sometimes. That's just the opposite of what they say it's supposed to be quite often. Okay, all right, let's make this happen. I'm gonna sand this dude. Just try to do some of this here until I get totally bored with it, and then I'll go in there and work on them rails. I don't know. Put my hoodie over my head. This thing wouldn't work with my mask, but at least get a hoodie on. Try to keep some of that heat in. Around again. Have to stop and make sure he's even on the camera, you know. spin him around again. When you get back here where the bird is, or the tail is, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty rough. And I probably could have cleaned that up more with the chainsaw. I just hate to try now. I just soon try to sand it out. It's not like it has to be perfect. Heck, if I'm making it, it ain't gonna be. I might try to finish figuring some of that out. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. Clean that root up. Then I'll sand my rock. And then the fishy. It almost looks like a tree person sitting there, doesn't it? I don't know. Tree person, whatever that is. Whatever a tree person. You guys know what a tree person is? Yeah, I don't either. I have no idea. Okay. Around with the fish head a little bit. Yeah, it is. She's ready to tip, ain't she? All right. Okay, so I'm gonna give him an eyeball. Bring him alive. He's gonna take the same bird that we used for the Cardinal. Nothing dramatic. Uh-oh, somebody gave us something. Heck yeah, $2, man. That's really nice. I appreciate that. Heck yeah. Plug this baby in. Give our fishy some eyeballs. Let's see. Around here. Heck yeah. There we go. Let's give him a little brown too. There we go. He's got an eyebrow. What do you think of that? Like that? I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, he's got an eyebrow. How about that? All right. Now I pulled that needle burr I had out here earlier, and for the mouth and nose on the Cardinal. And we're going to give this guy his fins. We're going to give his dots. We're going to do a good bit with this burr. I'm also going to trim around the upper edge of him to kind of define him from the rock a little more. I've been hearing a lot of small planes like Cessnas and stuff like that. I don't know why they'd be out when there's a major winter storm coming. You would think there'd be all kinds of people out here just flying their private little planes around, but they are. Turn it off. All right, let's give this trout some duck. Oh, that'll go on. All right, I'm gonna do a little burn to clean that up, and then I'll show you guys what I got, how it's looking now. I'll tell you what's funny too, because the first time I made one of them, it was very similar to this one, and it took me like three and a half hours, and coincidentally I sold that thing back in November, but I made it in like, spring of last year. But it was a really cool piece. It took me forever to actually get around to finishing it, because I knew it was going to take a while to finish, and this one wasn't bad. Hopefully I don't have to go inside and get a lighter, but I think I'm going to have to. We'll find out. It's all going to be painted. This entire thing will be painted. Yeah, I thought the snow would have hit by now. I never would have guessed I'd have got that thing completed before it was going to be here. And that's all right. We'll take it, you know. Put this back in here. And one thing, I want to get my side-by-side in here. So let me give you I want to get my side-by-side in here about the time the snow hits. So it's ready in the morning to go. Okay. All right, let's see. Hey, Land Raver, baby kisses. Heck yeah. The tree fella, what's going on, buddy? So here's the Cardinal first. Go around him and get a good glimpse of him, how he looks, you know, not too bad. Sitting on top of a stump. Now the root system, kind of going in there. We just took advantage of the one piece that was already kind of curved like that and brought it out to make a rock. And we got this fish on here. He's not great. He's just okay. But he looked really cool when he's painted. You know, this whole thing will be colored. And that bottom will be a rock. It'll be gray. So it looks pretty cool. Three-dimensional piece, you know. Not too bad, not too good. What's going on, Cheech? Hey, appreciate that, buddy. Hey, Kevin. The side profile looks like a bear. Heck yeah. Hey, there's your bear. Okay, all right. Heck yeah, there it is. There's your side profile. All right. Okay, so I got another project in here to do. Chimneys, I'm telling you, that wind. I got to take those canes. Hopefully we'll be able to keep service. Let me get in there. But as long as that wind's blowing. Because I kind of wanted to deer hunt today. I didn't realize it was going to be northeast wind until this morning. And so I was like, I guess I'll just work on the carving. Then I was going to try to get carving and get done in time to go up and deer hunt about 4:30. About 4:30. Because they start showing up there about 4. And it's pretty neat how crazy they are. I mean, these deer are something else. But that said, let's see if I can get some stuff plugged in here. And I'm going to work on these. I got to cut the edges down on those morels. And I talked about that the other day when I carved them, that I wasn't going to put you guys through that, watching me do that process, because this could be kind of boring. But, I mean, that's what I got to do. So I guess it's going to be kind of boring. But I should have been a little more prepared. I got all kinds of junk in the way. How do you turn this thing on? There it is. Okay. All right. Getting some lights going. But I got a new camera. The same people who sent me the Magic Eagle camera, they sent me this Cam Vigil Smart PTZ camera, security camera, and I did a little video on that. So I had this crap sitting out here, just like a box opening video. I don't know if I actually use it or not. I'll have to, because I don't know how you'd live stream that part. So I like the live stream, and that's the other thing. These people, when they have products to sell, they don't seem to care. If you get a lot of views live streaming, then they're fine with you doing live streaming. But I don't know how you live stream a video about a security camera. I don't see how you could make that work. So I'll show you what I got. I got a mask in my pocket going to jangle, mangle, lang. Not really. So I got these morel carvings right here. You guys see me made these the other day. And I got 2 of those. And I got 2 of these walking sticks. I've already bored the ends out with paddle bit. And so I just got to cut those down enough to get those to fit inside of that. And then, which is both of them going to be, it shouldn't be too bad. And then glue those in. And once I know I got them where I want them to be, I also got to take and, I didn't even have it on the camera, did I? Once I get them where I want them to be, then I'll probably kind of taper these down to match too. So you kind of get an idea. So I guess if you can use a demo when it's this cold, I would think you could, but I don't know. I'm not going to try to act like a professional or anything. Hey, you know what? I got this coarse quarter burr in here, and I think I will use that on this thing. Hey, I can't. How about that? I could use that too. That'd be pretty fast, but I need something that's going to be kind of square, and it's not going to take much, I don't think. But it's going to take a little bit of time to get them in there where it looks pretty snug, and then the glue can fill in any kind of like holes or whatever you might have. But that's just where we're at with it. Let's see. All right, 105 minutes. That's not bad. All right, I got 25 rubies too. That's pretty cool. All right, so nope, got plugging in, dummy. No, I'm not plugging in. Yeah, let's see if we can turn that baby on. I probably need to turn my dust collection on too, don't I? Yeah, let me do that too. Mr. Bear. Okay, I gotta start getting my mask on here. Got a pile of stuff going, don't I? I got this light shining in the, I couldn't see the camera. Hey, Tim List, what's going on? Roger Bendigo Hana, glad to see you, buddy. All right, so I put that in that hole. Shouldn't take a lot. Let's see what we can do. I'm hoping to sell these next week. But then again, it's going to be so cold outside, I don't know if anybody will come out there. It's hard to tell. Let's see if we're starting to enter the hole there a little bit. Yeah, it's close. Quite a bit to work on there to get it to fit. See how close that is. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Just gotta glue it in. So I'm gonna see if I taper that down. I wonder if it looks better if I put it the other way. No, I like it this way. Yeah, well that one fit in there. So I'm just gonna kind of taper this edge a little bit. That ain't too bad. It ain't too good either, but it ain't too bad. Right there could lose a little bit on it. Yeah. Right there. How's it look if I did that? That's pretty good. I think I can work with that. Leave that baby in there. Everything be nice and snug by the time it's all said and done. Okay, let me set that one over here. That probably could be better, but I don't care that much. I'm just being honest with you. Okay, so that one don't need to come down much either, but it needs to come down more than the other one did. I think. No, this is the thinner. This is the thinner one of the two. that fit. Not quite there yet. All right, let's see. Heck yeah. Hey, look at that. How the cracks line up. That's kind of yeah. So I'm around that out just a little bit. Woo! Heck yeah. Okay, look pretty good. You got turn this thing off, and I'll set them up here, and I'll back up and show you what we got. It looks like by the time I glue them, I don't think they'll be too bad. I'm not worried about them being perfect. You know, I mean, they're round walking sticks. I mean, you know, they're not going to be perfect. Okay, take this mask off. Get my glasses back on so I can see, right? Okay. So that's what we got. You know, and it's not bad. Not bad at all. Hold that right there as you're walking. You know, probably make some people scared. I don't know. But anyway, it's not too bad. Their handle's just, height is just right for like the normal person, you know. And, you know, probably somewhere right in there. But kind of neat looking. You know, and I've seen where other people have made these in the past, and they don't seem to sell them. But I don't seem to have any problem selling those. I like making them. So all I got to do is glue them. I'll probably go ahead and take them in the house and glue them, because that's where the glue and all my spray paint and everything is. And I'll also show you guys, I got some stuff. So I got 2 cars in here. I don't think either one of them got front tags. No, they don't. But I got these pieces here that are ready to finish. And I got to move this, put this tarp up and all this stuff. And I'm going to work on these. I got my Benny back there, and my poop, all that stuff. These pieces here is all I really think I can get done out of the chainsaw carving. So I'm just going to do what I can. But I got some chains to sharpen. Oh, I'll show you guys something else I did today too. That's just because we're nuts. Let me turn this thing off real quick. Yeah, hopefully our signal's been pretty good. It looks like it stayed that way. I got to sharpen my chain on my 20-inch. I got a tree up here. I drug down with the side-by-side. It fell down up on top of the hill, and about a 45-degree angle. I mean, it's crazy getting up there to get to that stupid tree. But I made it, and backed up there and drug it down. And it's honestly probably, I don't know, probably 2,000 pounds worth of tree. And I drug it down this hill with that side-by-side. I'm going to show you guys what I did here. If I don't lose signal, I shouldn't. I don't know why I would anyway. But they'll walk up here. I got a lot of coops and stuff I'm going to burn and clean this up. And I got this old log splitter down here. I made the shell just keep the engine and the pump covered. But that tree, you can see up there where it broke off and landed down in them rocks. And we went up there this afternoon and cut a piece off of it, the piece that's still laying up there, and drug a whole thing down here. And literally, it's going to go. I'm going to start the wood pile, this new wood pile going this way, right here horizontally, so I can put this log splitter and stuff like that behind there and nobody would see it. Because I got all this junk. It's just kind of old chicken coop I tore down a couple weeks ago, and that building was a tool shed, but it's kind of rotted out. And so I got a lot of junk. I got metal to get rid of and all that crap, just trying to clean all this up. And this coop, these 2 coops I'm debating on turning one of them into a hunting blind or burning it. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. It just, to me, on one hand, I'd like to get it up on the hill and make a hunting blind out of it, but it would be such a project trying to drag that thing up the hill. I don't know if it's even worth it, because this is steep. It may not look it, but I'm telling you, that's steep. It is what it is. But I think we got a pretty good start going for next year already, but it ain't gonna be enough. And anyway, I thought that tree, when I seen it fell down up there, I thought it was maple, you know, and I'm like, it's not gonna be too bad. Cut that thing up. I go up there today and I'm like, dude, this is a white oak. This is gonna, I don't even know if that piece of junk splitter will even be able to handle that. But we're gonna find out. I mean, there's wood everywhere, you know. I mean, there's a piece of maple over there too, and I'm just tired of maple. So, you know, whatever, honestly, I'd rather burn something like that anyway. I mean, that tree's fresh enough. I suppose you could make boards out of it if you had a sawmill, which I'll tell you what, that is a consideration. I think this year, by the end of the year, we're gonna end up getting a mini skid steer. I'm gonna need that. And I talk about getting a tracker or something. You start looking at the weight that these things will handle. I hate when my beard gets that curl in there, but it does. But you talk about the weight that these things can handle versus how much space they take up. In a minute, a compact tractor is just not worth it. They don't. They take up too much space, and they won't pick up any more weight than a mini skid steer will. So you got about half the storage space for the mini skid steer. They're half as expensive and not less than the stupid compact tractor anyway. I don't know why anybody would want a compact tractor. You see, it ain't even snowing yet. It's been cloudy, but I don't even know why you'd want a compact tractor if all you're going to do is like fill some holes in your driveway and move logs around like what I need it for. I don't even know why you'd want a compact tractor. So I'm going to get a mini skid steer. My plan is to do that by the end of the year, because I mean, you can look down here at the logs I got. It's just getting crazy how much wood I got down here, and I got more coming, which is great for me. I mean, I don't have to look for pine, any kind of pine. I mean, I got enough people that knows that I'm looking for wood now that they're calling me and saying, hey, we're cutting down this tree. I just brought in this one, 2 great big pieces, these 3 little pieces, and they're not really little, but these 2 big pieces right here, that one and this one, I just brought these in this week. And so I'm starting to get some good pile going, but I want to do more stuff like this right here. I want to make that a Indian or a 6-foot bear or something like that. And you can't hardly move something like that around by hand. But it kind of is what it is, and it gets a mess. Like that piece over here, that piece is probably 500 pounds. I can't move that by hand. I mean, right now it's probably frozen to the ground. I'd probably have to back into it with a truck to get it loose. I don't know. I mean, it's a big old hawking piece. I mean, here's a trailer behind it, so that gives you an idea. And I've already cut pieces off that to make stuff like Benny. I've made 2 pieces off of just slide shopping pieces, because I'm like, I can't move that anyway. And that's good. This piece here is just going to stay what it is. It's just going to be a standing piece, so I can come down here and carve stuff in a row. But I need to get a machine. I need to do something. And no, I mean, nobody wants to see the funniest chainsaw carver, YouTube chainsaw carver, get hurt, right? So that's my plan, to get a machine. We had another plan, something else we need to take care of, and I think we were going to be able to do it the business this year that we were pretty excited about, and then I'm going to buy a machine so I can move it around. But that brings me back to why I brought this whole subject up. After the mini skid, the next thing I'm going to get is a portable sawmill. I don't know, probably a 32-incher. I don't know that I need a 32, because I'm never going to deal with anything that big anyway. So I might get a 28, but I'm going to get a portable sawmill and put it up there, up here where all this junk is now. Build me another shanty just for that thing to be up here. But that's a year, at least a year. It's a year to 2 years. I'll put it that way. I want to get a portable sawmill so that I can make my own board pieces going forward, and make the sizes I want for, chainsaw carvings, things that I got planned to make. And I'm not gonna have the capability to ever handle a log any bigger than, 32 inches or something like that anyway. So it is what it is. Here, I'll show you this guy one more time. This little guy here. But that's the plan anyhow, is to get some equipment. Start with the mini skid. I want to get through this year, and then the end of this year I'll buy one. And I got something else I wanted to do with the business first. And then once that's done, then I'm gonna buy a mini skid. Yeah, he come up pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Not too bad. Let's see what you guys got. Kevin, yeah, left side looks like a bear. I got you in the middle. Yeah, I mean, I could put one in there. Sure, why not? Right there, you mean? Yeah, let's put a bear in there under the fish. Yeah, I could see doing that. I don't know. Not today, though. I'll tell you, my hand's cold. Let's see, left side of the piece. Are you talking about right there, Kevin? More left? You mean right here? I don't know. I don't see it. I can see where you can fit one in there, but I don't see it. No, that's the right. What am I saying? That's the right side. I don't know. Here, this is the left side. I guess I don't see it. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is the left side. This is the true left side. You remember, everything's backwards because the way I got the camera. That's like my building. You look at my building, it's funny because what you're seeing and what I see is two different things, Oh, well. So anyhow, I got to clean up my mess, try to get side by side in there, covered up, pull that that trucking tarp, just really nice. I got it running on a dog cable going across there, and it hangs in the middle to cover it up, and I can get stuff in there, but it's all open air, just to keep me, from getting carbon monoxide poisoning when I'm carving, right? Yeah, all right, yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, Kevin. Heck yeah, man. All right, well, I'll leave you guys alone, and I will catch you. We may just come back in. If it's just weathermen, if I saw what's going on tonight, I may come back in with some Dremel carving, but I have to get the turbo heater out because even the wood burner, as cold as it is right now, even that wood burner in that garage ain't gonna make me warm. I'm cold. In fact, you guys see me out here. I've been out here 2 hours. I brought this Dr. Pepper out here. It was not in the refrigerator. It was warm, and I thought, man, that thing's gonna cool up. Look at that. That's been out here a little over 2 hours, and it's already got ice in it. Don't get me wrong. That's how I like it. All right, guys. Hey, I'll leave you guys alone. Don't be surprised if we show back up tonight. It's hard to say, if all that's on is weathermen and crazy little kids sitting in there making goofy whoop whoop noises, and I guess other kids want to watch that, but you guys don't, and I don't. Hey, Woodchucker, what's going on? Hey, Woodchucker, you gonna live stream now? What's going on? Let's hear it. Are you gonna live stream? Looking to see. I gotta look under my glasses. My eyes ain't good no more. Hey, I didn't know if them was hearts, baby kisses, or pink toilets. Oh, well. Chucker, are you going to carve? Let's see. Might be able to go right down to woodchucker carving. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, two dudes? Appreciate that, man. You'll be live at 5 Mountain Time. That's 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 o'clock. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, we'll check you out then. How about that? All right. And Chucker never said, okay, Chucker's going to live stream. Let me get off here so you guys can watch Caleb. All right, hey, you guys have a good day. We'll catch you later. Come back when you can stay later, yes.